The Critshow contains elements of horror, fantasy violence, and adult language. Content warnings can be found in the episode description.
If I had a nickel for every time that Jake as the GM had us on a train and we convinced the big beefy bad guy to join our team, I'd have 2 nickels. It's not a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice.
You know what's unfortunate?
Huh.
Before you started saying that, as you were starting the recording, I was like, what was Ravi's voice? I was basically Jumbo. Oops. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the derivative Clockwinders. Welcome back to Cowboy World 2 Electric Boogaloo, Steampunk Boogaloo. Last time, our heroes fought the Rhino Raiders, the bandits who sick caravans on their way into Carcadia Freehold. They managed to fell their leader and then convince the rest of them to give up arms. Arms in this case being a unique new type of weapon, the flintlock long arm, a gun, which they were not familiar with. One of them is sticking around with them. The rest of them were just headed to Sun's Edge to prostrate themselves and seek a new life, a better path. They were able to collect those who the Rhino Raiders had scared off, get them back to their goods, get their wagons back up and running, and then continue their own journey towards the outer walls, which is where we find ourselves now. So, as your train approaches the walls of Carcadia Freehold, you can see that they are kind of ramshackle, as the rest of this city you expect to be, but that doesn't mean that they're not, intimidating and sturdy. They are stories tall. You can see that there are personnel at the top kind of walking a rotation, like castle guards. But I think you notice as you're coming in is that your rail seems like it's just leading directly towards a wall. Not a gate, not the front gates, just into the walls that flank the city. There is no opening for your train here. But you can see personnel at the top of the wall who are, stopped above the position of the rail and kind of looking like heads cocked in your direction with confusion and a little bit of fear.
So, the wall will certainly, open up, trigger something as we get close.
I don't think we should count on that. Kade, maybe stop?
Yeah, I'm just gonna slow down. I am gonna keep getting closer and closer to it, but way too slow.
Yeah, you slow it down. You are just inching towards this wall, and you can hear the people up top shouting down to you. Ho there! What are you doing?
Did you build this wall over the train track?
Well, I didn't.
I meant the city at large.
Evidently, the tracks haven't worked.
Oh, well, we fixed them. They're working now. Work Clockwinders. Sorry.
Yeah, we're just going to get a little closer to the wall to see if there's a magic hatch or something, or if it's an illusion.
You hear multiple voices. What? No. No, there's no magic hatch and there's no illusion. It's just a wall.
Oh, this is a recent wall.
I not recent explicitly, but it's a wall. I can promise you that. If you want to come inside, you're going to have to travel over to the main gates.
The movement cores were here for so long, probably way before the city. So if the movement cores were inactive and not really being taken care of, it makes sense that they would kind of build the city around it.
Does this track go all the way through the town?
Not anymore.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You tore up the track?
Well, no, it might... Look, I am not the person to talk to about this. If you want to get more information and get into the city, walk your asses over to the main gate.
I parked the train.
I just assumed that if they built the wall around the track, that they would build the city around the tracks. They're saying the tracks aren't inside?
Yeah, well, I think he's saying that they tore him up.
Well, how are we supposed to know where they lead?
I don't know.
That's our best chance of finding the movement core.
I guess we find a wall on the other side of the city and assume that there's probably track leading out into the forest. We just can't connect the two pieces.
We have to. That's where the movement core is.
I know, and the track powers the track.
Okay. Okay, so what do we do?
I can't believe you've done this, gentlemen.
They don't respond. They are just glowering down at you, waiting for you to move towards the main gates.
All right. Main gates it is. Let's go get some answers.
Ravi, guard the train, I guess.
Oh, okay. We're not gonna try and do a ruse and sell me as a reformed or whatever the plan was. You just want me to stay out here?
I was gonna have you come in with us, but now that we can't get the train into the city, I feel better if somebody was watching it.
Okay, I can do that.
Thanks.
Me and old sticky hands here. Past the rhino. Speaking of, what of Tonguey Biter? Tass, is Einon gonna try and take him inside?
The way you said that made it sound like, and what of old Tonguey Biter? What's Einon doing?
I'm leaping at the wall, trying to snap at the heels of these guards.
He's prepping the rhino to reopen the path.
I'll leave him with Ravi for now.
All right, so you all disembark the train, start heading towards the main gates. It's a little ways off to your right, 50s of feet away. It diverted from the dirt path that the caravans clearly trace. But as you follow the walls here towards these main gates, you can see that they are manned at ground level as well by personnel, in addition to people up on the wall. The people that were yelling to you, you can see are just kind of following along with you from the top as you walk along the bottom of the wall.
And they just hear us as we go. I bet he is the one who put that wall there.
I think I'm kind of leading the way. I'm very purposefully speed walking.
Okay. Yeah, you hear that fellow from above yelling down to the gate guards, "Oi, we got some clockwinders here." And they all kind of look in your direction as you approach. "Hello? Clockwinders, huh?"
Yes. And we're here to fix the movement core. So if you could have somebody escort us, that would be fantastic.
The one talking to you looks to the other one, and they both kind of raise their eyebrows, and they just bust out laughing. "Escort you? Ooh, hoity-toity, high and mighty clockwinders, huh?"
I thought you were going to tell us that you removed the movement core, too, along with the tracks.
Removed the tracks?
Yeah, the guy up there said that the tracks used to go through the town.
They look at each other, and they kind of shrug. Don't know, man. I'm just a gate guard. Here's what I could tell you. Nobody's fucking escorting you anywhere. Good luck.
Good, so we can just go where we like then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, since you're just a guard and you obviously don't have any knowledge about this place, who can we speak to get us some answers?
You see them again, kind of look at each other and, raise eyebrows, and they look back to you. And they both answer simultaneously, but with different names. One of them says Roland, and one of them says Seven. And then they kind of look at each other both man, come on. How'd we fuck this up?
Okay, so who's Roland?
Oh, it sounded like there was a back half to that question.
There will be once
Okay.
I get that answer.
Well, Roland the Magnificent is a winter elf, and he's sort of in charge of any ether and fey dealings going on in the town.
And who's Seven?
The other one responds, Clockwinder, same as you.
There's a clockwinder here?
Excuse me?
There's a clockwinder here. Where can we find Seven?
At the clock tower. You can't miss it. It's head in the gates towards the main square. You'll see it right off the square.
Okay.
And just in case we need to speak with this Roland, where might we locate him?
That's probably more of a Roland finds you situation.
Oh, I see. I look to the two of them. I may have a connection to get us there, if necessary.
Well, do we want to split up? There's a lot of city. My parents keep talking about how expansive it is, and when they come here, they bring so much wares.
That would be fine. If you two would like to speak with the clockwinder, I can certainly look for this Roland and at least get a location before I speak to him directly. I'll meet back up with you.
Just, I kind of shuffle us away from the two guards. Just be careful. This guy may not be too happy if we're here to fix the ether core, because if he's a fae,
Less ether spilling out.
Yeah, and even like ways to get people here and stuff.
Yes, well, one way or another, we're going to have to deal with that head on, mostly because in a place like this, there are quite a bit more Fae than what we've dealt with anyway, and we still need to fix it. So they're going to be on to us one way or another. We might as well endear ourselves to them before doing so.
Yeah, that's fair. And who knows? Maybe the one here is like, well, never mind. I was going to say maybe it's fixed, but the map indicated it is not in great shape. But there's a clockwinder here. Why aren't they?
That's exactly what I want to find out. And, Kade, you're more than welcome to go talk to them with me, but I thought maybe you would want to go look and see what became of the tracks.
Yeah, I think I'm going to see if I can figure out where the tracks are on the other side of town and if they still exist here, and if not, how are we going to get the train from one set to the other?
Okay, well, do we want to set a time to meet back up?
Can we see the clock tower from here?
No, the walls are taller than any structure within, it seems.
I'm just staring at the wall.
Just you've got like your hands cupping your eyes, but they're just against a flat wall.
Yeah.
Huh.
Can I lean over to the door that these guys are guarding and see the clock tower?
It's closed.
Oh,
Yeah, they've got the gates to the city closed.
let me re-ask this. Thank you, sir. And Kade walks towards the gate.
Yeah, the guards like smile and nod, and each of them grabs like a handle one side of the big gate, and they start to pull them open for you. And the instant the gates crack open, your senses are overwhelmed by sounds and smells. Like a lot is happening within this city. There are fragrances of like perfumes and spices and cooking, and also like sweat, grime, and grit. You can just hear cacophonous voices, tons of people. It sounds like hawking their wares, just vendors everywhere. I mean, looking in immediately beyond the gates, the mess of this city starts. Like, it is just pathways between tents and stalls and people shoulder to shoulder everywhere. It is absolutely packed and bustling in here.
I'm going to stop at the guards one more time. I must ask, as the sort of guardians of this area, have you had dealings with the Rhino Raiders?
Oh, yeah. Those guys are constant trouble for people coming into and out of the freehold.
Well, whatever protections or things that you would do in general to deal with them, you need no longer worry about. We have dismantled them and co-opted their talents on behalf of the Clockwinders.
Oh, they look at each other again, kind of like raised eyebrows. So, impressive. Thank you.
Just wanted to let you know in case there's some sort of work you have to do that is no longer necessary.
Yeah, the dude looks like straight up. You can see that original guy is still standing on the wall directly overhead. Hey, they took care of the Rhino Raiders. And that guy's like, oh, bully, I'll report it up the chain. And you see him kind of march off elsewhere down the wall.
He's like, bullshit, I saw one of them with the train.
Liars, spies.
They've got a rhino disguised as a train.
They were going to knock down the walls. We're under siege.
We still might.
Hey, now that's an idea.
But yeah, the reason I want to see the clock tower is to answer Maxine's question on when do we want to get back together.
Yeah, if you are all proceeding in together, at least for the moment, it takes some doing to stick together. It's hard to kind of shoulder your way through the crowds in here. And people don't seem to be paying you much mind, even when you're like running into each other. It's just how things work here. They'll just bounce off your shoulders and keep moving, never sparing you a glance. But you march in for a couple of minutes. There are these ramshackle structures on both sides, and they are themselves like stories tall. They look not very sturdy, like just a wrong breeze could topple this whole quarter of the freehold. But they are enough to obstruct your view. There are canvas coverings and fucking ropes pulled taut to keep the sun, or what sun there is here, like from burning the people, because there's no fucking, it's just open air, like all through here, unless somebody has rigged a way for it to not be. So after a couple of minutes of walking, it does kind of open out onto what you might consider the main, like the town square, which is just less covering, more stalls, more of like a single story, ground level, lots of aisles and pathways and booths and stuff, but there's not much more overhead. You can get a little bit more lay of the land. And you do see the clock tower. It looks like it's maybe a couple blocks off of the square. And yeah, you can see the second hand on the clock tower ticking. It seems like it is functional.
Okay, so 3 hours?
Yeah, that should be a good start.
Back at the tower.
Yeah.
All right.
And I think all through here, I am just like giddy. Like this is so usual for me in the sense of like trading and merchants and haggling and all of this sound and money being exchanged, but like on such a massive level that I've never gotten to experience before. This is like going to, local fairs your whole life and then getting to go to a theme park.
Right on.
Einon is trying to cling to every bit of positivity he has because this is hell. This is actual hell.
Tass.
Tass is leaking through. All right, so who's going to the tower?
I am.
And Einon is...
I am going to look around and see if one of my old friends happens to be in town from the last time I've been here.
Okay. And Kade is...
I'm going to go to the wall where the tracks are and see if I can figure out if they're gone, and if they are, where they continue again, and how we might get the train to them.
Let's start with Einon. Go ahead and roll your friend in every port, or whatever it's called.
That's exactly right.
Nailed it.
Against a 2, I rolled a 4.
All right, that would be a success. Are you interested in spending something to bump it up to a success with style?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'd like to use team player. Like, this was somebody I was very friendly with, and I know I can work well with. So if they're still here, I think this will be a happy reunion.
Okay, who are they?
He is a very large troll named Trundle, and he is a blacksmith.
What a great name.
I'd say thank you, but it's one of my players' names from a game that I run.
Oh, nice. Grundle, you said?
Okay. Do you know where Trundle's shop is?
Under the bridge. Under the bridge.
A smithy under the bridge.
There's like no need for a bridge here.
He just built one.
His shop is called The Bridge.
I love that. Yeah. There's a big smithy called Underbridge, and it's like across, like there's 2 sections of it. One section is like, horseshoes and tools and like practical things, and then across the street from it is like weapons and armor and stuff like that, and it's there's a bridge he's built over the street so that people can go back and forth to each of the corners of sale for it.
Okay. So I imagine then that this is not part of this like main square. This is tucked away a little bit, somewhere that he could get that kind of space and like own both sides of one of the thoroughfares in the freehold.
Nice.
So you start making your way towards Trundle's shop. Kade, you head back towards the wall on the inside of where you saw the tracks intersecting with it. Out here, right by the edges of the wall, it's sort of like sparsely populated is not the right term because it is, it's just very population dense throughout this whole place. But there's not a lot of like the business going on here or people like, trying to track down customers. This is where people have sort of slunk away. Like if they needed a place to crash or they wanted to not be noticed or they wanted to do a deal that they didn't want eyes on. Like that all happens kind of against the walls.
Yeah.
Because looking up as you're approaching, it seems like the guards aren't looking in, they're looking out. So people can get over here where it's quiet, it's darker than anywhere else, and they can kind of secret whatever they need to secret.
Yeah.
Give me an overcome roll with investigate. I think you're just trying to beat a 1 here. Pretty simple.
4.
Okay, so that is with style. You will also gain a boost off of this. You are able to locate where the tracks come in on the other side. And it takes a little bit of excavation to do so because they are just covered in mud and stone, like built up a ground over them. And then all these stalls and all these carts, like they just kind of buried the tracks so that there would be more room to put the stuff that matters as far as they are concerned. So it's not like magically warded, nor is it like purposely destroyed. It's just disregarded and built over. I think though what might occur to you is that like these tracks did not clear themselves the way the swamp track did. It looks to you like they might have tried to clear themselves, and people might have like reburied them since because that was a pain in the ass and they didn't care for that.
Yeah. Ah, son of a bitch. And I'm just going to kind of keep my eye down on the track and now try to follow it across town. I think the thing that we do notice, like as we see Kade doing this, is he moves really well in this crowd of people. Like he is able to move his shoulders and like he moves with the flow of the traffic.
Okay, very good. I think this is just going to be a little bit of an investment of time. It's, you will move fairly well, but they are highly obscured. It's hard to kind of keep an eye on them. It's hard to stay with them.
Yeah.
Like occasionally you're going to have to divert and like come back and approximate where to pick them back up. This is just going to take you a little bit.
Okay.
Maxine, you head over to the clock tower. Again, it's a couple blocks off the main square here. You're able to get to it without too much trouble. And as you land on the street that like the clock tower abuts, you notice that people don't seem to pay it much mind. Like there's still lots of traffic here, but none of it is like into or out of or with regard for the clock tower. What do you want to do?
Look for the door and go up and knock.
All right. This tower looks basically identical to the one at the Dawn Palace that you repaired the first core within. So you walk up to the door and it looks just very much the same. This tower does seem to be in some degree of disrepair, not as bad as the one at the Dawn Palace, but like kind of just approximately the same as everything else in this city. It's not like gleaming and pristine by any means. But you walk up to that big door and you knock and you hear that knock kind of echo hollow on the other side, and no response comes to the door.
Can I try to open it?
Yeah, you grab onto the door handle and it swings open. And inside it does appear to be like lit in here. The inner structure of this looks a little different from the tower that you worked on at the Dawn Palace. It seems like this is less open air. Looking in this doorway, you are looking at a hallway that seems to lead you down and like into a wider chamber deeper inside the clock tower. You can see torches burning down that way. You can see like tables and chairs. It's a little ways away and you can't see around the corners or anything. But it seems like this is like a lived-in place. It looks like a lived-in place. It's just not built the same on the inside as the one you encountered before.
I see. Well, I'll walk in and head down that hallway and just yell out, "Hello? Is anybody home?"
All right. As you start walking down this hallway, the tower has a stunt called
Ads.
The tower has a stunt called Playing for Keeps. As you are walking down this hallway, suddenly the floor collapses beneath you and you find yourself falling. It is seconds that you are airborne, and as you fall, you can see above you the light cascading out of this opening you fell through, that it is not like the floor failed and there is rubble coming with you. It's like a trapdoor. You see it closing again, the light fading away, and beneath you, rapidly approaching, you see water, which you hit and splash into. Playing for Keeps allows the tower once per scene to deal a 2-stress hit without rolling and move everyone to a lower cavern lake.
What?
So
This is so cool!
take 2 stress.
Oh no, wait, that's less cool. Oof, okay, I think I'm going to take 2 physical stress.
Okay.
I think hitting the water from a long drop when you're not planning on it is not good feeling.
So you hit the water. You are able to drag yourself back to the surface, breach the surface, and get another breath of air. And looking around, it is dimly lit, but you can see that you are in like a subterranean lake. You can see natural passageways that seem to lead out of this chamber up on the banks of the lake on different sides. But right now you are just kind of floating in the middle of it.
I'm just heading for one of the banks. I need to get like out of the water.
Okay, yeah, you just swim indiscriminately towards the nearest edge of the lake. Takes a little bit of time. It is exhausting, but you are able to pull yourself ashore onto this rough stone that surrounds the lake.
I will make note of the exits and entrances to this place, and I think again just yell out, "Hello? Did somebody control that? I'm a clockwinder. I'm here to talk to the clockwinder that lives here. Hello?"
Let's jump over to Einon. You find yourself not in front of, between, beneath
Yeah.
Trundle's dual shops and the bridge that connects them. What are you doing?
I think I head over to the weapon side because I know that that's what he usually has the most fun making, and probably has some underlings working on the not as fun stuff. So I just want to stroll into the shop and see if I can spot this guy.
All right. Yeah, you head in and immediately lay eyes on Trundle. He is over an anvil, striking a molten bar of metal. Each strike of the hammer has like the familiar metallic tink, but also like a fucking shockwave you can feel coming off of it from just how yoked this dude is and how hard he is smashing this. Around him, the shop seems to be empty. It is a little bit chaotic, as everything seems to be around here. But as he removes this ingot and like quenches it, the way he's moving through, you can see that like this might look chaotic to you, but he knows this like the back of his hand. He's moving sort of deftly through here. But he quenches that bar and he looks up at you. He walks over, he scoops you up with just one arm, lifts you up into a big hug.
Oh, I've been missing you. I don't see a lot of trolls on my travels, and met a very interesting one a while back, and I've been missing you since.
Oh, you met a troll, who?
His name's Mac Jackerel.
Yeah, it doesn't ring any bells.
No, fair. He seemed fairly reclusive, but he was lovely. How have you been?
I've been fine. How are you? Let me take a look at you. And he kind of like holds you out at arm's length, and he was just kind of like looking you over. He's like patting your clothes and shit, like tussles your hair.
I still got the arrowheads that you made for me.
How are they serving you?
Extremely well.
Fabulous. Well, if you'd like any more, I'm always up for a project.
Well, I actually do have a project I wouldn't mind asking you about, but I've got other business first.
Yeah, as he is kind of like looking you over, he notices your clockwinder insignia, and like, kind of like pinches it, like pulls that part of your clothes like closer to him to look at it, and his smile kind of drops, and he's like, "You're with the clockwinders now?"
Yes, I suppose that's new from the last time we met.
A bit of a panic spreads over his face, and he kind of like looks toward the door of the shop and like grabs you with both hands and like moves you away from it further towards the back of the shop. Did people see you on your way in here?
One or two may have.
Have you encountered any trouble yet?
No, I would love a spot of context.
He like again kind of looks over his shoulder towards the door of the shop, and he walks back over there and closes it and locks it. He turns the "we're closed" sign in the window.
Yeah.
And walks back over to you and like gestures for you to follow him into a back room of the shop. It looks like a little office space, sort of hastily put together, like the walls are still just canvas separating him from the other shops, but he's got a little, like a wooden crate that serves as his desk, which is comically too small for him. And he sits at it, and he gestures for you to take a seat on just a barrel in the corner. Buddy, I don't think you're going to find many friends of the clockwinders around here. I don't know what you're doing, but I'd recommend you get out of here.
Well, I will be honest, I was expecting some resistance, but I suppose I didn't realize how intense it would be here.
I mean, gods, this place is... There's a lot of politics here, a lot of people in charge of different parts, and I'm not sure that one of them is going to be friendly to your cause. The Rolands, I mean, they're fey. They're not going to like... Well, I don't know. They're pretty opportunistic. You might be able to swing them. The clock grinders, they're going to fuck you up.
Clock grinders? Hold on. First, one thing at a time. Rolands, plural?
Yeah. Roland the Magnificent, he sort of runs the Fey affairs, and then Roland the Black is like his enforcer.
Oh, those guards were fucking with us a little bit, I think.
What are you talking about?
We rolled up in a train directly outside the wall.
Oh my god. Like the Clockwinder train?
Yes.
You talked to the guards and told them that you were Clockwinders?
Yes.
They seem to pass that information along to anybody before you came in?
Generally, it would seem. Oh, shit. I'm going to have to go collect the others sooner than later. Here's the long and the short of it. The world is turning. I've seen it with my own eyes. Rock burst into flame. We're at a critical point here of needing to fix the cause, or else people will die. It is a necessity, simply put, and so we have been doing so. This is the next one on the list. So, clock grinders?
He kind of like chuckles. He's like, yeah. And then like remembers the severity of the situation. His smile falters again. Yeah. They're ex-clockwinders. Well, I mean, at least some of them. I think there's like new generations that were never clockwinders that have just been raised clock grinders, but they siphon ether off the core, they package it, they sell it on the black market.
Oh, well, shit. That's terribly interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, their whole deal is that core being broken and staying broken. I think you're going to encounter some resistance.
I think I stand very suddenly. Do you know the name 7?
He nods. He's the leader.
I run out the door.
Kade, while you are following the tracks, trying to trace their path, and again, you as you stated, you are moving pretty deftly through the crowd. I think like your gaze is mainly focused downwards, but you're still like just, you're used to this. You are slinking through until you come up against one individual that like is in your way, and I think that catches your attention. You look up and you see an elf standing there looking down on you. They are about 6.5 feet tall, and their head is kind of cocked to the side a little bit. They're smiling at you.
Hello?
Hello. They kind of look you up and down. Clockwinder, eh?
Yeah?
I've got somebody who would very much like to meet you.
Does their name happen to be Roland or 7?
He kind of furrows his brow and smiles simultaneously. I was referring to Roland the Magnificent, yes.
Yeah, I got a buddy who went to try to find him. I'm just trying to find where the tracks go through town and where they come out.
Oh, Roland will be able to answer any questions you have regarding the tracks. Why don't you come with me? We can go meet him in his court.
Oh, I want to vibe check this guy.
Okay.
Okay, fair.
Good call.
All right, why don't you make an empathy roll, and they are going to contest it with a deceive roll.
1.
3.
Can I use my boost? I'm trying to think how it would be beneficial. Well, I don't know that it can be useful. I notice what's out of place. What's this guy's deal?
So I think what you get out of this is you can tell that there is something sinister in this delivery. Like, what he is offering to you is not as great for you as he's making it sound. There is some danger involved with this. I think what you also notice, though, is that it doesn't seem like he left it to his ability to convince you to get you to do what he wants. Because you also notice numerous other Fae kind of emerging from the shadows and the crowds around you, encircling you. And that elf says, come on, this doesn't have to be hard, just a conversation.
Yeah, all right. We were going to try to find him anyway.
He claps his hands together, rubs them together in excitement. Fabulous. Follow me.
I do.
Maxine, you have called out. You hear your voice echoing through this cavern, down the tunnels branching off of it. And again, you are met with no response. The bank that you are standing on, it does fully encircle the lake. These passageways branch off from there in various directions. What do you want to do?
I'm going to try to be really systematic about it and just pick the one closest to my left, like when you're trying to get through a maze, and keep going till I find a way out. And I think as I'm just walking down this hallway, I'm just muttering to myself,
Oh, why don't we split up? Yeah, that's a great idea, Maxine. That's fine. It'll be quicker this way, and we'll get all the information we need, and I definitely don't need any backup.
Okay, you start following the first path on your left, and the sort of like naturally rough-hewn stone gives way as you progress to worked stone, which gives way to like cobblestone, like an actual structure, a man-made hallway. And down towards the end of it, you can see again like flicker of firelight around the corner, but this hallway does seem to like dogleg hard to your left down the way.
I'll head toward the light.
All right. Yeah, you get down to where the hallway turns and look, and you can see that there are lit torches, again, mounted on either side of the wall. And just a few feet ahead, the hallway does open up into a room of some sort. From what you can see, it looks like pretty barren. You don't see, like, it's not like a library or anything. It just looks like an empty room. There are a couple of tables and chairs in it. And you can see another doorway, like, directly opposite that seems to lead into another hall further into this structure.
I'll take one of the torches just to kind of, like, go to the table and unpack my gear and make sure everything is like okay after being hit in the water.
Okay. You grab one of the torches and you step into this room. As you cross that threshold, there is a mechanical chunk.
I hop backwards as soon as I hear that.
Okay, that's going to be an athletics roll. I feel like this is going to be kind of tough. Roll to overcome with athletics, and I think you're trying to beat a 5.
I think I'm going to use one of my stunts.
Okay.
I think I'm going to use Earth Invocation. You gather the ether about yourself, illuminating your aura and making yourself stronger, faster for a time. But this comes at a cost of a physical exhaustion or hunger. You mark a sticky condition to gain +4 to a physical action. So I think this is, again, even though I have been purposefully using ether, it still inherently is kind of a reactionary thing. And having heard that sound and fallen through a trapdoor once, it's just kind of like automatic.
Okay.
And so I'm going to mark exhausted. Okay, that's a 4.
Do you want to spend anything else to make it a success?
Yeah, I do. Give me a second to come up with a reason.
Give me a second to fabricate a justification.
How about magic is unpredictable and strong? Like, the fact that it's unpredictable is like lends really well to this idea that it's reactionary. It's not something that I chose to happen, and it gives me such an extra boost that it lets me do something I don't even have a skill for.
All right, I think that's fair. Spend your fate point. So in an instant, you go from walking forward to bounding backwards, just in time for a portcullis to crash down over this doorway, on both sides of the room, actually. Now barring you from entering the room. You are back in the hallway, but you see the one fall right in front of you, slam into the ground. You see one fall from the doorway on the opposite side, slamming into the ground, turning that room ahead into, effectively, a jail cell.
Oh, come on! This is not the warm welcome I was expecting from Clockwinders.
From around the corner in the hallway on the opposite side, beyond that next portcullis, you hear a voice. You're unlikely to find many warm welcomes here. And you see 2 figures step out from around the corner. A human man and a human woman, both wearing sort of a bastardization of Clockwinder garb, and the insignia has been manipulated to look like the teeth on the gear are broken and cracked. The young woman has long blonde hair in a braid that is hanging over her shoulder, and she looks a little bit stern, a little bit dour. The man has sort of sandy brown hair that's mussed up, and he is kind of grinning, but it is malicious. And he continues, nor are you likely to find many Clockwinders. Einon, you rush out of Trundle's shop. Where are you going?
Fast as I can to the clock tower.
Okay, it takes you a few minutes. You are certainly drawing more attention to yourself this go-round, even though people are used to being kind of knocked around and, still going about their business. They aren't used to people parkouring through town to get where they're trying to go.
Yeah.
So lots of disgruntled gazes and frustrated shouts follow you as you go. But you reach that side street off the main square that the clock tower is on, and you see people bustling back and forth past it, but the door is closed. Nobody seems to be going in or out.
I'm going straight up to the door, see if it's open.
It is?
I crack it slowly open and peek in.
Okay. Yeah, inside you see a hallway leading away from you. The outside of this clock tower looks almost identical to the one that you encountered back at Sun's Edge at the Dawn Palace. But the inside looks a little bit different. It's not quite as open air as the one that you worked in before. You can see that this hallway leads down towards a room that opens up further down. There are lit torches on either side. It seems like lived in, but you don't see anybody.
Maxine!
No response.
7?
No response.
And I step slowly in, and I pull out my bow, knock an arrow, and start slowly making my way down this hall.
Well, fabulous. This tower has a stunt called Plant for Keeps.
Stop me if you've heard this
And
one.
once per scene,
What's it do once
you
per
can deal
scene?
a 2 stress hit without rolling and move everyone to a lower cavern lake.
What?
Who would fall for this?
Again.
As you are moving cautiously down the hall, your caution is for naught. The floor opens beneath you in an instant, and you fall down, splashing into the water of a subterranean lake. And you see the trap door of the floor closing again up above.
I think the second the floor starts to shift under me, there's just a mild, oh, I see. And
Mark II physical stress, and you are able to breach the surface, and you see what I have described to Maxine. You see a bank, a perimeter all around the lake, a few natural-looking passageways that lead off of it in a few directions. What do you want to do?
I assume that doesn't count as a conflict in the way of I have my stunt bulwark. Once per conflict, I reduce damage taken from a hit by 1 shift. I assume that doesn't really count, right?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't either, but I figured I'd just to, clarify.
It is a stunt that explicitly offers no counter. Like, it can't be avoided.
It avoids initiative.
Yeah.
It gets a surprise round on you.
I look about for some of these tunnels and start swimming.
Okay. You are able to swim to the bank, no problem. You can see that there are 4 different tunnels that lead off of this chamber. Where are you going, or what are you looking for?
I gotta give it a try, just while I'm here in the middle. Maxine, you hear Einon's voice echoing from behind you, somewhere in the distance.
I tear my eyes away from this couple on the other side of the gate. Einon?
If I hear it, I run for the tunnel where that sound echoed.
Maxine, on the other side, you see those 2 individuals also, look behind them as they hear Einon's voice, and they look back at you and then turn and run back around the corner.
Oh, wait, come back. Hello?
They gone.
Oh, I'm going to head towards where I heard Einon's voice coming from.
The 2 of you reconvene in this hallway leading off of the lake.
I immediately scoop her up in a hug. Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine. The floor fell out from under me and, okay, I guess you know.
Yep.
I don't understand what's happening. I just met a couple of people, but they look like clockwinders, but not like clockwinders. I don't understand.
They're not. They've turned. They're using it. They're bottling the ether. They call themselves clock grinders, which is a marvelous name for an episode.
Bottling the ether? But how do they... I don't understand. How do we get out of here?
I don't know. 7 is in charge of them. We've got to figure out what to do, how to stop them, change their minds, or worse, it's bad here.
We gotta find Kade.
Yes, I had thought about that. They're not friendly to us here. With our insignia, he might be in danger as well, but I thought you might be in more at the moment.
They heard you as well when you called out for me, and then they took off that direction. I don't think there's any way for us to go other than back to the lake and choose one of the other exits.
You haven't been to either of them?
No, this was the first path I chose.
All right, well, we've got to make haste. We're in danger here.
I'm going to light my lantern.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
I'll start heading back.
2 of you start walking back towards the subterranean lake. Kade, you are marched by this group of Fae across the freehold, well past the main square marketplace, actually starting to gain some elevation as the freehold kind of sprawls up the mountain base a little bit. And you lay eyes on what is so far and away the most ostentatious building you've seen. It looks like a manor house. It looks like it has been sort of cobbled together from unconventional building materials, but it's got the shape and scope and vibe of what you'd expect from a mayor's homestead or a duke or something. And the front doors of this manor are flanked by guards. But as this elf walks you up the front steps towards that door, he's got a hand on your shoulder, and you see those guards look at the elf and look at you and look at the elf, and each one grabs a door handle and they pull the doors open. And this elf walks you inside. And inside, again, it looks actually super nice. It does not match what you have seen elsewhere in the freehold so far. It kind of looks like maybe the Dawn Palace in its heyday would have looked. Like, it is kind of regal and elegant in here. You are walked into a large foyer that's got a split staircase that arcs up in front of you to like a second-story balcony that seems to lead to some hallways off either wing of the manor.
Does it look enough like it architecturally that I think maybe this could have been the Clockwinder's base of operations here a very long time ago?
Why don't you roll to overcome with lore? And I think you're trying to beat a 2.
Okay. 2. This I could justify using that boost for. Like, if this was the place, there's a chance like the tracks could have broken up in this direction. So maybe coming in when they open that double door, like seeing the glint of metal on the ground or something that indicates like, oh, there was also a path of track that led this way.
Okay. I like where your head's at. I'm going to divert that a little bit because you don't see tracks leading directly to this.
Yeah.
But I think just on the topic of you were keeping an eye out for Clockwinder manufacturing this whole time, like you're in that mindset. This does like ring. It's nowhere near as large or grandiose as the Dawn Palace is, but yes, it very much has the vibe of like this might have been where the big shit Clockwinder out here, stayed, or like maybe a secondary training post or something where they would bring up other agents further on the other side of the world. The elf leads you through an open doorway on the left into an adjoining dining room that has a long table in the middle of it, big hearth on the back wall with a fire burning in it, and one individual sitting at the end of the table who looks up as you enter. It is another elf, this one with charcoal skin and long shock white hair, wearing a red, like, what was the hat that Da Vinci wore? Like that poofy, that floofy, kind of foldy over hat with a big feather coming out of the side of it. Form-fitting, velvety dark robes and like golden leather belts, like really ostentatiously dressed. Sitting on the table in front of him is a pretty lavish spread. Fine foods. He's got a chalice of wine in one hand, and he looks up and meets your eyes and like smiles, this like super genuine, wide, broad smile at seeing you. Good heavens, a Clockwinder, an honest-to-goodness Clockwinder here in my home. And he like stands up from his chair and like rushes over towards you holding a hand out.
I'll reach out and shake it. I assume you're Roland the Magnificent?
You assume correctly. What is your name, my friend?
Arkady Atwater.
Arkady. He looks over towards a guard that is kind of standing in the corner. He like holds up a hand and snaps, and that guard exits the room and comes back seconds later with a pouch that you can hear jangling as if with coin, and he hands it to the elf that walked you in. And that elf gives a little courteous bow and excuses himself. And Roland says, Come, Arkady Atwater, sit. Join me for a meal. I'd love to pick your brain.
Just out of curiosity, I'm going to remind you of the stunt that I have in case the vicinity or myself is being affected by ether, just in case.
Yeah, what is it?
Sixth sense. The GM will let you know when something you're encountering isn't what it appears to be due to ether or its user, and it may not be relevant, but I just want to remind you that it exists.
And that's good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Keep reminding me.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you are getting like there is ether about, but you are not being etherized.
Okay.
You are just being wooed by a charming elf.
All right. Sit anywhere? Or should I like sit opposite of you, far end?
He laughs and he like, takes your hands and kind of like pats them between his hands and says, Nonsense, you will sit next to me. Come.
Yeah, I follow him.
He starts calling out to some of his personnel to bring in coffee and breads, sweets, cinnamon rolls, like get out the good shit, bring it in here. As he walks you over, pulls out your chair for you, and seats you right next to himself at the head of the table.
I sit down. This is not what I was expecting. The gentleman who brought me here, there wasn't violence, but it felt like it was on the horizon.
Violence? Good heavens, no.
Okay, so what do you want to talk about?
I want to learn your motivations. I want to learn your objectives and see if we can't maybe find an alignment between the two of us.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I I have a feeling that you hear Clockwinder, you think that there's a certain mindset behind it, and I hold my hand up and I use my stunt, Ether Conduit, and I channel some ether into my hand. Things have changed a little bit with the Clockwinders, and some of us see things a little differently.
I think that is where we will leave off.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us for another episode of The Crit Show. If you are interested in more information about the Clockwinders or Fate, you can find that information in the episode description. You can also check out our Patreon at patreon.com/thecritshow. Tons of additional content in all media forms. And tier start as low as $1. You can also get your name read at the end of an episode, just like Adrian Butler and Austin Dumorn. Thanks to the two of you, and thanks once again to everybody for joining us. Tune in next time to learn what dire straits our heroes will find themselves in.
Ooh,
Everybody say bye.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye.
farewell.
The Crit Show is a Critshow Studios production, edited and produced by Brandon Wentz, with music by Jake Purley. You can find more information about us at theCritShowPodcast.com. To keep up to date with upcoming live shows, contests, and other special events, follow us at The Crit Show on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For even more weekly content, join us at patreon.com/thecritshow.